What's up, guys? In today's episode, we are going to be addressing the body of the Miata. All right, let's assess the damage here. Look at this. It's not too bad. I thought the plastic would be black back here. I don't know why it's yellow, but the crack isn't too bad. I just don't know how I'm gonna get it to be closed. And then I have another crack right here. This looks way more difficult to get to. So I'm gonna remove that light and I'm gonna do this one first. Guys, I have not had luck with this at all. It's not sticking. I'm most likely doing something wrong, but look, this also came off from back here. But I did find a good bumper. It needs to just be painted, but it has no cracks, and we're about to head out now to go get it. All right, guys, this is what I was able to acquire. It has, let me leave it down. It has no cracks. It does have two little dimples in it from having a license plate on it, but honestly, for what it is, I got it for $70. Usually they go for way more, so I found a good little steal on Facebook Marketplace. It was an hour away. It has holes for the Mazda logo, which I don't know if we're gonna do or not. So I'll leave it there just in case. And we do need to remove the mounting bracket from the other bumper and install it on this one. But other than that, it's pretty clean. The sanding came out great. It's nice and smooth. There are very small pits that I can't feel with my finger, but I know that it might show in the paint. So I'm hoping with a good um, filler primer, it should be able to cover that up. All right, guys. So after further looking at this front fender, it's definitely gonna need to be replaced. I don't think that's able to be saved. So I'm not gonna attempt too much here. What I'm gonna do is sand this down. I'll try my best to make it look good. On the driver's side, it is not as bad. As you can tell, everything's intact. So this is just gonna get sanded. And it just needs a little bit of sanding. It's pretty smooth. I have to focus a little bit up here. But I have the car jacked up. That way I can access it a little bit more comfortably. So let's start a time lapse. Here I had to put a layer of Bondo, so I'm waiting for that to dry. In the meantime, let's attack this rocker panel. And it's really bad, so I'm gonna have to sand it down to bare metal and restart. With a sander took so long, I had to bring out the big guns and use an angle grinder. Alright, so I got it down very close to bare metal, and it's way worse than what I anticipated. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this out and see if I can weld like a replacement piece. I am not good at fabricating, so this is the first time I've ever fabricated aside from doing the exhaust. So this is scary, but at the same time, if it goes bad, I can just fill it up with Bondo again. But I'm gonna try to do it right. I'm gonna cut all this off, and then I'm gonna try my best to make a replacement piece that follows this body line. All right, I got the rust, the majority of it out. I put some rust dissolver for that spot right there that I can't really get to, and some here, and some throughout the bottom. That way, I feel a little bit safer closing this up. But it was better off if I like take all this, but I only have this little bit. I should come up a little high, right? No, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to fit this underneath. I'm gonna try to fit that underneath, and I think that's my best bet. Especially because this is so thin. You see that? All right, I managed to get this side done as well. I didn't, ooh, a bee, what the hell? So I didn't cut as deep on this side because it wasn't as bad. So on the other side, this is gone. I'm gonna keep it on this side since it's not that bad. It just has like some surface rust. I sprayed, I don't know where it's at, but it's like rust dissolver. I'll spray some rust dissolver on it, and I'm gonna hope for the best on this side. All right, so this is, so you guys can see it's okay, not the best. I don't have the right tools for this, so I'm just gonna keep welding. It doesn't look great, but this is as good as it's gonna get with me. I wish I had a little bit more skill. I still cannot figure out how to set up the settings perfectly. This is Bondo. This is the body filler I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna be putting on a light layer. That looks empty as hell. Look at that. Is it supposed to be like that? I don't know. Was I supposed to shake it? I don't know. Okay. So, you want to get yourself a non-porous surface for this to do the mixing in. I'm not gonna be using too much for right now. I'm gonna be doing multiple light layers, just so just so I can get a better cure. This you wanna move this around a little bit. Wow, this is very watery. And then you wanna do this and try not to introduce air, which I am doing because I don't know what I'm doing. So you just want to mix this nice, all one uniform color. Now I'm just gonna do light layer. Shit, don't know. Nope, that's not how it wants to go on. I don't know. Oh shit. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. That's not bad. I think that was a good amount. I do know you do not want to mess with it too much. So I'm gonna leave it like this. Let this dry out because that's the best way to remove it from here. You wait till it gets hard and you just gotta snap it and it comes right off. So I did not mix up the second layer up well. It's the next day. So I am going to just take this off and hopefully get it right this time. Okay, so I put a couple more layers. I ran out of sandpaper, but it's actually building up really, really nice. So what I'm gonna do now, since I'm waiting for my girl to get ready, I'm going to do this side, and then when I'm done with this side, I'll start heading out to Harbor Freight real quick. Honestly, not too bad. Welding went slightly better this time. Still not the best, but slightly better. I cut it too short, so I'm left with that. I'm just gonna fill this part up with Bondo. Not ideal, but I should have measured twice before cutting. That's my fault. But honestly, not that bad. Overall shape, it does come out a little bit more this way. Like it angles down this way like this. Whop. Look, I put way too much hardener. I wasn't even done. I wanted to focus a little bit more here, but way too much hardener. Look, bro, it hasn't been like 30 seconds yet, yo. But you live and you learn. I already saw what happens when I do too little hardener, and this is what happens when I put too much hardener. before I start painting, I totally forgot to show you guys how this came out. Look at that. Nice and smooth. Let me show you the other side. Look at that. This side came out amazing. Now, time to mask and start painting. So this is how the masking is gonna be. I did this side. I'm gonna leave the other side for after. That way I know that this works. So I put a cardboard here in order to like feather out the spraying. That way there's no harsh line. And then I put the tape at the body line here, hoping to have a good transition, or at least be able to hide the transition a little bit better. So I'm gonna start spraying. Okay, so I primed it and wet sanded it, and now I'm just gonna spray it with the black. I'm letting it dry. It's still wet, but it's so smooth, super smooth. The best way to make this work out is multiple light layers. So this is gonna be layer 1. You want to like overlap. I'm doing a terrible job overlapping. Hold on, let me go back up. That was terrible. Okay, but it is a light layer. Terrible layer, but it's a light one. Let me redo that here. So before this, I did spray it with alcohol, so it's extra clean. And let me zoom out. All right, so let's do this again. I'm gonna start up here. And then a little bit more over here. Again, not the best, but it's just the first layer. Honestly, it came out very, very nice. Now, the orange peel, low key, goes with the stock orange peel. So I'm gonna let it rock. Only thing is too, I don't know if you noticed in the time lapse, I sprayed the layers really quickly because this thing dries so fast. I just finished putting on the paint and look, it's sticky a little bit, but it's dry. Like it's not even coming off, right? Look. Oh, I do have a run there. Right there. Oh well. It's not my car. It's not. This side came out good. Water did start coming down, and I did touch something here, and that's why it's running here, because I just sprayed it to cover up the mess up here. So I am gonna have to deal with this, but that shouldn't be too hard. This is what happens when you take the easy way out with masking. This line is too hard. Though both lines are way too hard. It should have been like this, a little bit more fanned out. I can actually deal with this a little bit better. Here is not as bad either. It's still a hard line, but it is fanned to this point. But this is gonna be very difficult for me to fade through, especially because the blacks are so different. I didn't think they were gonna be this different. I should have done like a sample piece to see and make sure. But other than that, Bondo came out nice. Same thing here, Bondo came out nice. A little wavy. But all I had was the sander. If I had like a block, it would have sanded through a little bit better. But for what I had and what it was, it came out pretty good. Now it's just dealing with the fanning of these two colors. So I finished painting this side with a different paint, and it's a little bit better. Problem is, no queda nada. So I sanded it down and I tried to spray over it again and spread it out even more. It's a little bit better, but still not to my standards. But yet again, I'm using regular paint. I should be using color match paint, not just any old black. So we're gonna deal with it for now. But hey, no more rust. Since I'm done with the body, I want to paint the bumper, but I don't want to paint it outside in the elements. I'm gonna see if I can move the journey out. Hopefully it starts, and I'll paint the bumper in here. Guys, the paint came out amazing. All the hard work paid off. It looks great. Now it's time to take it for a drive. I'm gonna wash it first and then take it for a drive, and that's how I'm gonna end the video. But before then, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace.